All right, so we're going to take a bit of off-trail hike. Not that there's not a trail up ahead here, but as you can see, there's a brook flowing down it. If you can see that, I'm not sure. And I checked it out yesterday, so I do know what I'm going to get myself into. But I won't give away the surprise at the end, because there is a surprise at the end. Not at the direct end of the trail. The trails keep going. They actually split off in 3 different directions after the surprise. The surprise. What could it be? And you see what I gotta walk through here? It's pretty swampy, because you gotta skirt around the trail a good bit. There's all kinds of spring ephemerals out right now, so I do my best not to walk on those guys. Ooh, I almost took that stick there right to my family jewels. Bounced up and got me a bit. You could see all these forest ferns here. Not sure what you would call them. Maybe they're the Boston fern. Some type of sword fern. I'm not sure. You can see they're still laying down. They got the other ferns here with them too. But these are the ones I'm talking about. Beautiful. Can't wait till they stand back up. They make everything really come to life. I'd say the same for the leaves on the trees, but I'm kind of happy they're not out right now, because it hurts the birding season. I find I can't see the birds for anything once the leaves drop. Within the next 2 weeks they'll be out. All right, now we're on the trail. Gets messy up ahead again though. You can see all these little lily of the valleys coming out here. They're everywhere. I'll see if the Carolina spring beauties are still out up here. It's the first time ever seeing those spring ephemerals. Ugh, got all kinds of crap in my shoe. Yeah, they're still out. You can see a little one here. It's not fully unraveled. Or maybe he has unraveled, but he's just shriveling up now. Try to be careful as I walk along here, because that's where they're all at. It's popping up out of the leaf litter. Yeah, they're still all around. It does look like they're closing up though, unfortunately. It's unfortunate because they're so beautiful. I wish they could stay for a lot longer. But like the name suggests, they're short-lived. See if I can find some. Yeah, they're all closing up on me here, unfortunately. Lucky I got them yesterday. Some good shots of them yesterday. First time ever seeing them yesterday, actually. See them there? I know the GoPro does not like to get up close and personal. It'll blur things. But I'm sure you can still make it out. You could tell them apart from the Virginia Spring Beauty, which also grows here in the Maritimes, because the Carolina Spring Beauty has these more oval-shaped type of leaves, while the Virginia Spring Beauty will have like leaves like this, to be more grass-like and long and more narrow. But yeah, I thought I'd show you guys these little beauties, because I mean, they are beautiful, right? Look at them. Here today, gone tomorrow. But that's not the surprise. they are beautiful. I really do love seeing them. You can see all of them here. These might still be coming out, I'm not sure. You can see a lone leaf of them here sticking up out of the grass. You'd never be able to know what they are really without the leaves or the flowers coming off them, but yeah, there's one sticking out there. There's another one sticking out here. It's coming up. They come up all over the place here. And yet again, this is my first time, well, my second time ever seeing them. Yesterday was my first time seeing them. Truly. I was taking pictures of this guy yesterday, but as you could see, he's withered away. They really don't last long. There's more here. The bugs like to chew on them. Humans do too. Animals. The deer, the white-tailed deer that's around. I peeled these guys up yesterday. They were these mountain maples. These little twigs of trees. Because they were stuck underneath this log that's laying down here. So I gave them a second chance. Lots of different ferns popping up. I think these are ostrich heads ostrich ferns, not ostrich heads. I was thinking of fiddleheads, and I combined the name and that with it. So yeah, these are ostrich heads fern. Ostrich ferns, not ostrich heads. Jeez, get it right, fella. More of them popping up here. And these guys are actually just unraveling now. And they're not ostrich ferns, they're a wood fern. These little guys, they're starting to unravel. Come to life, they'll grow up real soon. Whew. Gets a little trickier around here because the brook makes a return. Gotta have some pretty good boots to walk up here. Alright, this is a difficult spot. Right here, right where the camera's pointing over, is where I messed up and stepped in it yesterday and flooded my shoe really quick. Alright, now the next step is over here. I'm just going to jump it. And we're off. You can see the trail conditions here. This is no good. There's a brook running right underneath the soil here. I'm gonna jump this one too. It's pretty rough. Ugh, get all kinds of water in my shoe that time. And this mess here is a little more unavoidable. You're gonna get a bit wet because the trail beside it, or the ground beside it rather, is pretty swamped. But if you can make it up on a rotten log that's covered underneath the moss here, the sphagnum moss, then you're doing good. Gets a little thick here for a second. It's a beautiful old growth maple up ahead here. He has all these ferns laying beside him. It's a really nice hardwood forest up here, that's for sure. It'd be really beautiful when the leaves come out on the trees. You can see some vestigial leaves here. And the vestigial leaves are the leftover leaves that haven't dropped. This guy here, the new growth, which you can see here, will start to open up real soon. And it'll knock these old guys off. It's quite an uphill hike here, so you might hear me breathing pretty heavily. It's never a fun sound to hear somebody breathing hard. But what can you do? I'm working hard for this video. All right, another minute or two of walking and we'll be upon our surprise. I like to check out these holes sometimes. Anybody home? Might be a woodpecker in there, you never know. I just walked through a spider web. I hate that. Always trying to keep an eye out for the flowers that come up this time of year, just like those Carolina spring beauties. You know, I was showing you back there. You really never know what you'll see. There's one spring ephemeral here that's really cool looking. It's called the Dutchman's Briefs, I think it's called. They're very interesting, very beautiful. But I guess they remind you of a Dutchman's briefs. I don't know what a Dutchman's briefs looks like, so I can't really confirm that. Looks like Dutch underwear. Or maybe the Dutch copied they somehow knew about it. They sailed here long before Christopher Columbus, and they're like, you know what? Gotta model our briefs after this flower I seen over there in North America. All right, we're at the surprise. This is the first little surprise here. Oh, God, these pigeons, or not pigeons, mourning doves live in the forest here, and they always give me a startle because they just pop right out from underneath your feet and they make a loud takeoff. But yeah, you can see there's used to be an old cabin up here. Somebody burnt it down. Whether it was the park themselves or it was some vagrants, who knows. But all the junk is still left here. It's kind of sad to look at, because it looks like it would have been quite comfortable. They had 2 bed setups here, as you can see. It's like 2 cots or whatever. This guy here would have been up against the wall, and then this guy here would have been up against the other wall. I'd walk in there, but if you could see straight right down where my finger is pointing, right next to this log, there's a pile of rusty nails. And I don't want to catch any in my foot like that, so I'll keep trucking from that. And then the coolest surprise is right here. Coolest in my opinion. I mean, most people would be like, what the hell? It's an outhouse. Why is that cool? Well, it's just cool, in my opinion, because, you know, it's just this leftover memories of somebody's better time, probably. You know? It's like freedom out here. I'd love to travel back in time and see it all set up right. See their little camp thrive out here. I bet you it would have been really beautiful back then. However long ago it was. I wish I knew more about it. There's lots of good steel ladders around. Those things will never break. And when they rust, they'll probably still won't fall apart. But yeah, isn't that cool? I mean, it's an outhouse, so it's not that cool, but it has like this privacy carpet that's kind of tacked to it here. You could still rope it up and have some privacy if you really need to take a dump out here. I mean, this is the place to do it. I think it's really cool though. I think they filled it in, the pit down here. You see it? There's a lot of crap in that pit, I bet. See the toilet seat here. Still works. And still pretty cleanish, I guess you could say. I mean, it's not very clean, mind you, but it's it could be a lot worse for being out in the open. Very, very cool. But yeah, that's this is the reason why I want to come up here and show you. You might be like, well, that's kind of weird. Why would you want to show us that? But you know, it just goes to show you that there's things hidden all around this park that nobody's probably seen for a very long time. Well, nobody. I mean, I've seen it, and I'm sure a few others probably have as well, but the vast majority have no idea that these trails up here even exist. So, you know, it's really cool. If I keep heading in this direction, I believe I will eventually come out to looks like a bit of a wood clearing lot. So, might be somebody's property. I don't know if the park bought it and they're just waiting to put their own trails through it here, clean up these trails and repurpose them. I don't know. But yeah, today I guess I'll just keep heading down here. I've never went any further than this point yesterday. I just turned back once I seen this. I was like, no thank you. You know, I made it over up to here, I believe. I just checked out the head of this brook. I was interested to see what it was, where it was coming from. You can see it's a little rough getting around it. Rough, understatement. It's pure mud. That's where I sunk my foot yesterday, is just over. I don't know if you could see right there. And right here. But yeah, I never went any further than just crossing the brook to see what was on the other side. Gross. Soaking my shoes once again. All for the sake of adventure. That's a pretty good reason in my books to get messy. Is to go explore and adventure in your your homelands here. That's what I love to do. All right, I'll get on this side for this crossing. You can see some old tire marks here in the ground. Well, maybe you guys can't. There's all kinds of mourning doves flapping around in the trees here, scaring the hell out of me. It's spring, so you know the bears are up and active and they're hungry. And you just never know. So things can be pretty startling out here when they fly up from underneath your feet like a grouse or a dove. Man, it's rough getting through here. There's all kinds of mosquitoes out now too. Just looking over here, seeing if I can find the salamanders that are laying these eggs, or the frogs. I'm not sure if they're salamanders or frogs. There's red-spotted newts, I think they're called, on the Stairway to Heaven pond. Man, this is rough. I should have stayed over on this other side and just walked through the forest. Damn. See if I step on this ground how bad it is. It seems like it's gonna be pretty bad. Okay, it's semi-doable, I suppose. It's not as soft as I thought. Now this looks like it's going to be nasty. But I did it. It's done. It looks like we're past the worst. If the trail goes on and on and on, I'll just stop the video and turn back. But I'm curious if I can break through to the other side of wherever this leads. On Google Maps, I said that it looks like it comes out on a wood clearing. Ow, get smacked in the face by twigs. Clearing here. Bit of one. Opened areas with some nice old trees, old maples. Beautiful. All right, which side should I be on here? I guess this is the best side. Maybe the worst is not past us. Jeez. Old bag of Lay's chips on the ground. Wow, look at it up here. Just these beautiful hardwood forests. Not very much softwoods in sight. Got these little guys here, but I guess they're kept small from the from these big old growth. It dominates them. Gotta try to remember to keep my eyes out in the trees, because you never know when you'll see owls or pileated woodpeckers, hawks, eagles even. You can see the trees over here, these dead ones, full of woodpecker holes. Some rough walking, I'll tell you that. You gotta stop all the time and think about your strategy for getting over the trail. Getting past the trail. Try not to walk my camera lens into a friggin' bush. Scratch it up. It's got a protection filter over it, a UV filter or whatever. Still, I'd like to conserve that too. Not that I don't have a backup for it, but ride this one out as long as possible. Yeah, this downhill section is beautiful. I love seeing hardwood forest. Just with all the space in between the trees. It's much different than softwoods. Oh, I sunk pretty deep. You can see my foot. This one's semi-dry. This one's caked in mud now. Alright, looks like we're coming out on maybe that clearing that I was talking about. I have no idea if this is private property or not. No idea. But I mean, I'm not going to hurt anything if it is. I'm not going to remove anything. So it should be okay. Just to take a look. Yeah, you can see some kind of clearing has gone on here. Whew, I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes and deer flies. Not fun. Old beer can. Well, at least I finally discovered the old clearing. I've been eyeing this on Google Maps for a long time. You can see it here. Yeah, she's pretty cut. It's not a big section of cutting, thankfully. But it's still a good amount of cutting that has went down here. Whew, I'm out of breath. It's interesting though. There's all kinds of, on the edge of the cutting here, all kinds of trails go along this. They're beautiful. I'm still trying to explore most of them because I just found them last year. Man, these black flies are bad. But yeah, with seeing this now, I guess it's time to turn back and go the other way. I wonder what's going on here, if they're ever going to let this just grow back or what their plan is for it here. I'll have to ask one of the staff members if I ever see one of them again. Alright guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. My battery's about to run out on my GoPro, so I figure this is a good place to end it. Black flies on my nose. Take care guys.